Hey everyone, this is Ryan Bush. Recently, I revealed my all-time Dallas Cowboys coaching staff, and I had a really good comment from a Brian Reeves, and he says, if you were going to include kicking coach Steve Hoffman on the list, who I listed as the kicking coach for the Cowboys, then I guess you picked him over the Cowboys' original kicking guru, Ben Agajanian. He turned out kickers over a 20-year career as kicking coach. And then he goes on to list Danny Villanueva, Mike Clark, Tony Fritsch, Efren Herrera, and Rafael Septien. And Bryant says, I'm not against the pick of Hoffman, but Uncle Ben, as he was known, would have to get serious consideration. So I just want to say a couple things to explain why I picked Hoffman over Agajanian. Now I wrote 2 books, The Dirty Dozen that deals with 1975, and Landry's Last Stand, 1985. So I have a decade there of studying Agajanian. And one thing that is not widely known is that while Agajanian was listed as the Cowboys' kicking coach, he was not a full-time coach in the way that we've come to understand it. He wasn't there every day at practice. So here's how it worked. A lot of times, Agajanian, the Cowboys would fly out to Thousand Oaks for training camp. Agajanian would be there the whole time, 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it was. Camp would break. Cowboys fly back to Dallas. Agajanian would often stay in California, where he lived, where he had his business. He was a kicking coach. He had kicking school, kicking clinics. So he'd stay there, and very often he wouldn't come back to Dallas for 6, 7, 8 weeks, maybe 2 months, and all in all, or until trouble happened, as in the Cowboys kicker maybe was struggling, they'd call him in. So while he was listed as the kicking coach, in his absence, Tom Landry was the kicking coach, and he dealt with all the particulars with help from whoever the special teams coach was, whether it was Mike Ditka or Alan Lowry. So how could the Cowboys get away with a setup like this? If you remember, Landry, when he was an assistant with the New York Giants, Agajanian for 4 seasons was his kicker. And Landry was kind of the unofficial kicking coach back in the 50s for the Giants. So Landry and Agajanian spoke the same language. They understood kicking. They knew what they were looking for. Agajanian during the season was brought in to really fine-tune whatever was going on, whatever that particular kicker was having trouble with. So to allow Landry to focus on offense, defense, whatever. So Hoffman was there 16 years, Agajanian 20. Both were great. But I picked Hoffman really because he was full-time, and Agajanian wasn't as much as some of us would have liked to believe. So, Brian, I love the comment because it allows me to explain something that's not widely known. Agajanian was paid like a full-time coach, but he wasn't always there. So there you go. I hope that clears that up. Hope it enlightens a few out there. And keep the questions coming, the comments. I love it. Scroll down, leave me a comment now, tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you again real soon.